Hey everyone, Matron here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary, continuing Vile Spanishiwa week, as we have Spanishiwa spawning as the blue Zerg, and his opponent will be Noctis spawning as the red Protoss. We are on Shattered Temple here. This is a ladder game, you can tell by the colors of the players. We got a little bit sidetracked in the last day or two working on some technical issues, so Vile Spanishiwa week had a brief a break in the middle, so hopefully you all went to the bathroom and got your snacks from the concession stand. But out of that technical difficulty and the work I've done on that, I am going to be able to formally announce that Vile Spanishiwa week will be ending with a co-cast with the man, the myth, the legend himself. Spanishiwa will be joining me to look at one of his games and kind of give you some insight into how he thinks during games. I'm going to ask him some questions, and if you have any questions you'd like me to ask him at the end of the co-cast, go ahead and throw those in the comments. I'll take some interesting ones, specifically ones about his builds and his reaction to certain things. Everybody knows at this point, if they've read interviews and seen other people interview him or talk to him, why his build's called the Ice Fisher build, and how old he is, he's in high school, etc. So no questions like that, but if you have any interesting questions about just his style of play, go ahead and leave those in the comments, and I'm really excited about it, because I'd really like to talk to him and figure out how he deals with certain situations. Right now, this is a ZVP as we get back into the game a little bit here, and it looks like Spanishiwa is going to be able to get down his fast hatchery. He did a nice move with his Overlord here. He saw the Nexus, and then he immediately dodged, so when Noctis sent a probe up here, he did not see the Overlord, and because of that, Noctis did not send the probe over to the western starting area here, and Spanishiwa was able to get down that hatchery. So it looks like he's going for his pretty standard build, around a 16 hatch and then a 15 pool. So in the past he has been a little bit blocked, as people do get to know his style. I think I've mentioned that in most casts, so he will be able to open up into his Ice Fisher build if he so chooses. At this point he has not yet scouted Noctis with a drone because he has this Overlord in good position here, and Noctis has to know at this point that the Overlord is up here. All good Zerg players will use that high ground to their advantage, especially in the early game when their opponents don't have any air or observers or detection up there. And it looks like the hatchery about to finish, just now sending that drone on that probe, making sure that he's not going to be starting any trouble, placing down any proxy pylons. The pool about to finish, and we do have Warp Gate tech starting for Noctis. So if we check the income counting station, is 18 to 18 at this point, and we'll see what Spanishiwa chooses to do now that the hatchery is about to come up. He's making 2 Zerglings at this point, possibly to take down this probe. And again, no gas. Spanishiwa likes to get his gas pretty late, so we may not see gas until about the 38 to 40 food mark. He likes to get out multiple queens, spread that creep between the main and the natural, get down some spine crawlers depending on how much pressure he feels is coming. And it looks like Noctis at this point, just getting a second gas, has not added on any sort of tech or gates, and maybe pushing out with the Zealot and Stalker. He's chronoing out one more Stalker, so it can cause a bit of trouble with these units. And it looks like Spanishiwa might get in here with the Zergling if that Stalker does not get one more shot. Oh, so that Zergling not going to be getting any scouting information, but Noctis placing down 2 extra gateways here, and they will be in the line of sight of this Overlord. At least one of them is, and Spanishiwa can sack that Overlord. Might not even have to sacrifice it to see the second gateway. So it's going to be 3 gate, and he's adding a few spine crawlers here just because he's not sure what his opponent's going for. He's got the 2 queens down here ready to duke it out with these Stalkers. And the Zealot coming up here as well, and there's going to be a few Zerglings coming in, adding a bit of DPS, and they're going to try to focus down these units fast as they can, just buying more and more time for the spine crawlers. The queens tanking most of the damage, and Spanishiwa does not want to lose one of these queens. He needs to get that back on creep. Really does not want to lose queens in the early going. It's a big investment of minerals, and you can just do so much more with queens in the later going. And it looks like another spine going down, as he has scouted with the Overlord that 3 warp gates are in play here. He's got to know that his opponent's going for some sort of expansion build, and if he sacks one more Zergling, he will be able to see the Nexus as it does go down. A little bit supply cap, but he's got a bunch of Overlords coming. And now just finally adding the gas, and this gas is a little bit early for him, but because he is supply capped, we see him sometimes deviate from his build slightly. He's going to be able to make extra drones before those Overlords do come up. And again, Stalker's poking in here, but at this point the spine crawlers are well entrenched. It looks like he was able to cancel that 4th spine crawler, as he did see the just the 3 gateways. He knows not too much pressure is going to be coming. And that's something I really like, and we don't see many pros do that, is cancel spine crawlers. A lot of times they'll put down their 1 spine crawler, sometimes a few more when they do feel like pressure's coming, but Spanishiwa always does a nice job of continuing to scout, reevaluating the situation, and then changing his build and canceling those spine crawlers. You know, he gets a drone back, he saves a little bit of minerals from the cancel, so all in all, it's just a smart move. If we check the unit counting station, he's got his 4 queens out and ready to go. They will be able to deal with any sort of airplay that Noctis comes with. Not that he does have a Stargate at this point. He's just got the 3 gates and now getting down a forge. The forge is good for a cannon here so that he's got a bit of a detection. One of the counter builds in this 3-gate fast expand is to go for burrowed roaches just because the detection is so late for Protoss. So he wants to get down this photon cannon. We'll probably protect it with another gateway here in a moment. It looks like he'll do just that. And Spanishiwa about halfway done his lair tech, so we'll see what he chooses to go for tier 2. Typically with this build he likes to go for Infestor and Ling, but we'll see. He has been mixing up his play a little bit. I've already shown you a few games where he has done some pretty interesting builds, and it looks like he's taking his 3rd. And I really like this play. We've seen him in a few games where he, off of 2 bases, he'll tech up against a 2-base Protoss, but I really like going for a quick 3rd and getting that down as fast as possible, getting it fully saturated, and staying 1 base ahead of the Protoss. The Protoss is probably going to be pretty resilient here, and especially with this photon cannon, burrowed roaches might not fare too well against Noctis at this point. So making sure that he's getting up that quick 3rd and continuing to pump lots of drones. He's getting up 2 evolution chambers as well. So when he does go for Infestor Tech, and it looks like he's actually going for Spire. When he goes for Infestor Tech, he likes to keep those Lings super upgraded, and starting those upgrades early. He's got a lot of gas, getting all 4 at once, and be interested to see what he does with this Spire. Typically adds a Spire a little bit later once he does get up or start Hive Tech, so that he can get up to Greater Spire and use Broodlords, though he typically likes to go for Ultralisks instead. And we'll see whether he actually goes for some sort of Mutaplay or whether he's going to add an Infestation Pit here and go for very fast Broodlords. Noctis at this point just taking down his destructible rocks very slowly. The beams from the sentries not doing all that much damage. And a robotics facility finally coming in for Noctis, so we see his plan shaping up a little bit more. He's going to be on 4 gates, and he's got 2 forges going, so upgrades going, both level 1 upgrades for Protoss, and he's actually adding another robotics. So maybe going for some sort of, not sure if he's going for Immortal or double Colossi play at this point. Spanishiwa's Spire is about to finish, so we'll see what he goes for here, whether he comes out with some fast mutas. He's banking a lot of gas. He's got almost 1,200 gas. He's got room under that Overlord cap. So the Spire is up. We'll see what he chooses to do with it. He can come out with about 10 mutas at this point. And it looks like Noctis choosing to push forward. I'm not sure that this force is going to be able to take on the Lings and the Spine Crawlers. Lings very good against both Stalkers and Sentries. We see 12 mutas coming out. We have a hallucinated Void Ray, so perhaps coming in here doing a little bit of scouting information. Though question this decision, if you just want to scout, why you would use the Void Ray instead of Phoenix. So the Mutalisks are out, and they are rallied at the center of Spanishiwa's base. We'll see if he chooses to take down this Void Ray. He will know that it is a hallucination because his Mutalisks are not taking any damage, and the forces of Noctis are very out of position. He did see that these Mutalisks coming in here, so he's going to try to warp in Stalkers, but he doesn't have that many gateways, just working off the 4 gates at this point. And if we check the income counting station, it is 54 Harvesters, and we'll see how many Harvesters Spanishiwa is able to take down with these 12 Mutalisks. If he's able to dance around a bit, he might not lose too many Mutalisks. 2 of them do go down there, but he looks like he's doing a ton of damage to this probe line. Noctis really needs to pull these probes over to the natural. I'm not sure what he's doing. But check out the unit counting station. Spanishiwa still up to 9 Mutalisks, so doing a ton of damage with these mutas. Now adding a few more as they come out of those hatcheries, and Spanishiwa able to kill 28 workers. So wrecking the entire main minerals of Noctis. Noctis working on these backdoor destructible rocks, but Spanishiwa does have more spine crawlers here protecting against this. He's also moving a few spine crawlers up here as well. See whether he counters with these Lings. Noctis doing his best to scoot and shoot past these spine crawlers, and now he's got nice force fields going down on the ramp, but not completely covering. And the Mutas coming in here with these Zerglings going to make quick work of the Sentries and the Stalkers. Both have very slow rates of firing, so not very good against the Zergling Muta mix. And now if we check the unit counting station, Spanishiwa does have 16 Mutas on the field. And income counting, it is 65 to 33, so he did tons of damage to Noctis. Noctis does have this observer here, so he's going to be able to see the Zerg ground forces as they do move out. Spanishiwa about to finish his flyer attack level 1 and coming in here to the main once again to do a lot of damage to the mineral line. There's quite a few stalkers here this time for Noctis, so Spanishiwa might have to go over to the natural mineral line. And Noctis' attack is going to be a lot more weaker, or was a lot weaker at that third of Spanishiwa because he had to keep so many defenses at home. Trying to send his probes into that assimilator to save him, but all he's really doing is bunching them up for the splash damage of the Mutalisk, so losing a ton of probes here. And if we check out the army count is 139 to 50, and Noctis pretty much out of this one at this point. He's lost 42 workers. Compared to the 0 of Spanishiwa. Spanishiwa up to 68 workers, full saturation on 3 bases, working on his 4th base as well. He's got these 1/1 Lings as well as a few more Mutalisks coming in to do some harassment as the Lings working their way into the 3rd of Noctis, the same time as the Mutalisks taking on the main of Noctis. So down to just 30 Harvesters is Noctis, and he gives the GG. So pretty interesting play there from Spanishiwa. I have not seen him use mutas in this ZVP matchup, but he saw that they're pretty effective here if your opponent does spread himself out with that fast 2-base. He's got the cannon, he's got very few units, most of them are sentries, which are a lot slower than mutas, and don't do too much damage. So Spanishiwa able to take advantage of his opponent's build here, again showing that he can mix it up, doesn't always have to go for Ice Fisher, go for the Infestor Ling Ultra build, and he had a lot of success here, so I'll be interested to see whether he uses this strategy in the future in any sort of tournaments which he has, as the 3-gate fast expand is quite popular at the pro level as well, so he might be able to use this practice to do well in upcoming lands and tournaments. As always, if you're looking for more StarCraft 2 action and Spanishiwa Week along with the guest cast of Spanishiwa, check out my channel MatronStarcraft at youtube.com. Go ahead and subscribe if you would. Also leave a comment about what you would like me to ask Spanishiwa, maybe even what matchup you'd like us to look at as well. So thanks for watching this one. Take care.